the one, the only, Ben Good afternoon and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun to Lean On. We just concluded Siman Reish Mem 240 in Shulchan Aruch. I say the most important Siman in all of Shulchan Aruch because the most important part of your life is your marriage, and the most important what marriage really is your experience in the bedroom. To the extent that you're successful in the bedroom, that's the extent of success of your marriage, almost always. So it's important to know these halachas. And what's even more tricky is that I would say 95% of the stuff that's being offered in the Siman from the Shulchan Aruch and the Mishnah Berurah is exactly the opposite of the truth. You should not listen to this. The rest of Shulchan Aruch, I tell you what I think is right, what I think is wrong. But I say listen to Shulchan Aruch. I'm not a rabbi, but I don't have to be a rabbi to tell you this is wrong. I did a whole series of lectures about a book about marital intimacy by a very ultra-Orthodox rabbi who got a lot of guidance from all the Gedolim, all the big rabbis of the previous generation, from Rav Schneur Cutler in Lakewood, and from the Stipler going, Yaakov Yisrael Kanievsky, and Rav Chaim Kanievsky's father. And he spoke to all of them, and they all said the opposite of the Shulchan Aruch. And in fact, in the appendix of the book, he said he doesn't understand the Shulchan Aruch. He never got a satisfactory explanation of why the Shulchan Aruch says it. Basically, in summation, the Shulchan Aruch and Siman Reish Mem says you should not enjoy being together at all. You should view it as paying off a debt. You're kind of in the midst of ona for your wife, but you should try not to enjoy it as much as possible. You should try to conquer Yetzer Hara. Don't enjoy it as much as possible. And he talks throughout the Siman many different ways to make it as least enjoyable as possible. If you do it for a woman, everyone knows if you just do it for your wife, right? She's going to realize that. She's not going to be happy. She's not going to want it. She wants you to be part of it. If you want to go to marriage, you're going to be part of it. And on a rational level, God wants you to enjoy this world. You think He wants you to not enjoy this world? It's the Yetzer Hara that tells you, that told the Shulchan Aruch to write this stuff, that you should not enjoy it. The Yetzer Hara tells you that you're not enjoying it. It's terrible to enjoy it, original sin, Christianity, whatever it is. They tell you not to enjoy this. But that's the real Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Tov tells you to enjoy as much as possible, because God wants you to enjoy this world as much as possible. The point of the Torah is to guide you to enjoy the world as much as possible. We are human beings. Human beings strive. The foremost thing that human beings strive for is pleasure, and they seek to avoid pain. This is the most pleasurable thing in the world, and you should get as much pleasure as possible. I want to focus in Iyun to Lean on probably the most pivotal halacha over here in Siman Ches. He quotes a Gemara. Now, the Gemara is an example of a Tana who was a big tzaddik. Doesn't mean the Gemara that everyone should follow him. But the Gemara gives an example, Rezer HaGadol, Rezer ben Horkins, who he was Mishamish Be'em of a Yira. He was, he doesn't say he was Mishamish Be'em of a Yira. He says he was Magal Tefach, Machas Tefach, V'domek Mishakafo Shay. He exposed the Tefach, and then he covered the Tefach. And he was like someone that was possessed by a demon. What does that mean? Okay. So there's 4 explanations the Shulchan Aruch gives. Different commentaries give different explanations. One explanation, he says that you should do it in fear. You should be afraid that you shouldn't get pleasure, just like a demon. Right? A demon is you should be like afraid of demons. You should be afraid of being together with your wife. The second explanation is when you're together with your wife, when you're penetrating, you shouldn't move your aver back and forth, up and down, back and forth, forward and back. So you shouldn't get pleasure. You should get as least pleasure as possible. Some say that you should do it for the shortest possible time. No foreplay. Do it. Be over with it as quickly as possible. Like you got scared by a demon. The demon scared you into doing it. And gotta get out. Stop it. Do it quick. A lot of people, a lot of Hasidim, a lot of frum people do this. There's people that are not frum also that do this just to get it over with. And the woman needs foreplay. She needs foreplay. You talk to any marital therapist, talk to any chassan and kala teacher. A woman needs foreplay. It doesn't mean it has to be done every single time you're together, because the man has needs also, and he doesn't like that excessive foreplay. But at least twice a week it has to be done with foreplay, 20 minutes to half an hour, ideally an hour, if you have the patience for it as a man. The other explanation he gives is that Megal Tefach Chassid Tefach is that he wouldn't even completely make his wife undress. He would basically, when they're trying to be together, he would pull down her underwear, only the part where he's able to get in. And then, right after he was done, he'd pull it back up. He didn't want to see her undressed. And the Shulchan Aruch says all these explanations, V'chulu perusha isnahu, all these explanations are right. B'sarach bal nefesh lizar b'hem. You have to be careful about all these things. Now, many of these things are terribly wrong. First of all, the idea that you should be afraid of it and you shouldn't enjoy it. No, you should enjoy it. You should enjoy it. It's not just as when I did a lecture series about marital intimacy, the author says it's important to enjoy it so you can increase the connection between you and your wife and be a complete person. But for this, it's for the sake itself of enjoying it. Enjoyment is okay. It's kosher according to the Torah. It is. It's kosher according to it's lechatchila. It's muhudr. You're supposed to enjoy yourself as much as possible. The second piece of advice he gives over here, the second explanation he gives over here, you should do it very short amount of time. Everyone knows it's a huge mistake. You need foreplay, not all the time, but at least sometimes. Otherwise, the woman feels cheap and violated. And the other explanation he gives over here, that he wouldn't undress his wife. I mean, people have a desire that to see their woman naked, to see them stripped, to see them naked. I mean, you're taking away from a major enjoyment over here. I really believe that what the correct explanation over here is is basically make your wife wear lingerie. Make it more enjoyable. Lingerie is important in the bedroom. A lot of lingerie, comes basically, where it reveals part of the breasts and part of the vagina, and it covers up with lace. Right, a lot of it's lace. Get nice lace. Lingerie. It's more exciting for the man. Enjoy it more. That's what Megal Tefach Chassid Tefach. Part of it was covered, part of it's not. When you're together, you take it all off. But for part of the time, that's a way of increasing excitement in the bedroom, right? Usually the man is going to lose interest in the marriage much quicker than the woman. So in order to spice things up, besides the fact you need different positions, which the Shulchan Aruch and the Mishnah Berurah say are terrible. You can only do it in the missionary position according to the Torah. Not really. Besides that, to spice it up a little bit in the bedroom. Also, there's different types of ways to spice it up. You want to hear about that, check out my lecture series on marital intimacy. But that's Megal Tefach Chassid Tefach, wear lingerie. And don't shade. It's like, it's not that the demon is forcing you. The demon possesses you. What do demons do? Demons they eat a lot. They enjoy themselves a lot. Demons. You think of demons, right? They're eating all the food. They're enjoying themselves. They're engaging all the physical. Shade is just a physical being. That's when you're in the bedroom, you should be someone possessed like a demon. Forget about any spirituality. Forget about thinking about anything spiritual, about being a righteous person. Be a good demon. Be a physical person that is possessed by a demon. You love it. You're enjoying it as much as possible. You're into it. There's passion. You love it. You're thinking about it, enjoying it as much as possible. Do whatever you want. Don't listen to Shulchan Aruch. You're allowed to look at her vulva. You're allowed to kiss over there. You should be putting your tongue over there. This is normal. This is 100% normal. The Torah wants you to enjoy as much as possible. Eliezer Gadol was not doing these things to decrease his enjoyment. He was doing it to increase his enjoyment. The lingerie, and be as physical as possible. Enjoy as much as possible, whatever you want. The Gemara says your wife is like a piece of meat. You eat it sometimes salted, sometimes grilled, sometimes roasted. She's not a piece of meat. You don't treat her like that. But just like a steak, you want to make it the way that's most delicious to you and really enjoy it. Your wife, you should do it the same. Make her wear it. She's going to want to wear. She wants to make the husband happy. She'll want to wear nice lingerie. She wants to be loved by her husband. So do it. Do it. And some of the other halachas over here, it's halacha midoraisa. When you're together with your wife, you're not allowed to be thinking about a different woman. It says, Lo sasur achar lebavchem nacharei einechem. Now they think about a different woman. It's a Gemara, Mesechus Nedarim. It's a Dalraisa. Why is it so terrible? Because when your mind is in one place, your body is in a different place, you can't enjoy it. You're disjointed. The whole point of the Torah is that you should enjoy the woman you're with. Even if you'll think, I'm bored of my wife, I'll think of some other woman. But that's physically, there's a different woman over there. You have to think about the person you're with, or else you're not going to enjoy it. That's what all these halachas are about. There's even a halacha which I agree with. The one halacha I agree with over here, he says in Tet, Lo Yisapim Advarim She'elim Minyan Tashmish. When you're together, you shouldn't be talking about other things, nothing to do with being in the bedroom. Yes, you should talk, make it interesting. You should role play, talk dirty, have fun with, flirt in the bedroom, have fun, make it enjoyable, tell jokes, have a good time. But anything that's gonna get you more in the mood to be together with your wife, that you should do. Anything that's irrelevant, you should not talk about because it's going to decrease your appetite. You should enjoy it as much as possible. And the Gemara says, "Masbio roiv marivo saveya," and everyone thinks it means that if you're engaged in tashmish hamita and marital relations too much, so you'll be hungry for it. And if you're roiv, if you starve yourself, then you'll be saveya, you'll be satisfied. You won't need to engage in Yetzer Hara so much. But that's if you're interpreting the Torah because you believe that you should not enjoy this world as much as possible. That's the way you explain it. But if you also look at the other way, right? Marivo saveya. Maspio roiv. If you satiate yourself, right? You do it all the time. Whenever you're in the mood, roiv, you'll be hungry. Being hungry is a great thing. It's bad to be hungry if you have no food to eat. But if you have a permissible wife to you, it's good to be hungry. You'll be in the mood. If marivo, if you're not engaged in relations, you do it very infrequently and you do it very quickly, you'll be saveh, you'll be full. You won't want women anymore. You won't be into your wife anymore. And it's not a good thing. Everyone interprets it a good thing. If you're not together, you do it only the minimum amount of time, oh no, whatever, then you'll be satiated and you won't want it. Why shouldn't you want this? This is the best pleasure in the world. You should want it. You should be very hungry for this. It's a simple Gemara, everyone interprets it one way, but if you just have a different perspective, the Gemara is telling you the truth. It's just the Yetzer Hara tricks us to think the opposite of where the really truth is. You have to think the opposite, like George Costanza did on one episode of Seinfeld. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you on the next one.